Mindy's Manic Monday, another glorious Monday here in Little Saigon, Mindy. And who do we have here?
Hello, Charles. Hello, Cindy. We have a Cindy Tran, the president of L.A. Coastal Chapter 2021. Beautiful.
Wow.
Hi,
all
you're
the
beautiful.
way there, all the way 20 miles down there. But there is an interesting twist to that, right? Because you were living where?
10 minutes away from here.
She's home. Right, it's like me. I was dealing with San Gabriel Valley type of chapter, right? But I'm living in the LA coastal neighborhood, so I love going to your events, and I'm home in 10 minutes, so it's amazing. But
yeah, so how does that, the story with you being there, involved as a president in LA?
So the offices that I manage for real estate, I manage 3 locations, Long Beach, Torrance, and Downey.
Oh, wow.
And I handle recruiting and operations. So for recruiting purposes, I had to mingle with South Bay and Long Beach people. And so that's how I got involved with AREAA. It was called AREAA South Bay 2 years ago. And then we changed the name to AREAA L.A. Coastal. I think it's been a little under 2 years or going into yeah.
I'm finally used to it, right?
Yeah.
It sounds very easily to mix with, the North South Bay. So LA Coastal sounds very, very
Very coastal.
Yeah, it covers, I think we cover all the way from like Santa Monica down to Long Beach. So that's our little territory now.
There you go. Wow.
So is it related to any events gonna go, close by the oceans, coastal?
We've done some beach stuff. So we did like a beach cleanup
that's
this year.
That's right.
And guess who was there?
Yeah.
At the last minute,
he
just to
didn't
get the
clean
swag
anything
back.
though. He showed up at the end when we had done all the cleaning and all the events, and then he walked in.
Yeah, I don't want to be there too early. No, it's great that you guys do a lot of community work. That's the whole point of, in business and in real estate, sometimes we're very fortunate to get all this business, but we do like to give back, right? I don't know what it is in the real estate business. I think it's more where we're giving a lot to our clients. It's not really specifically measured, but we tend to want to do a lot of things, not just AREAA and real estate, but other things too, right? Like beach cleanup and things.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're given a platform where we can encourage other people and inspire other people. So that's why I wanted to fully take advantage. Because me going and volunteering at like a food bank, there's only so much I can do. So it's like if we have 20, 30 people who can show up and sort food or donate food, it goes a lot longer than just me on my own.
Right, and we're not really known as an organization that goes and, buys homes for Asian Americans. We tend to actually help the practitioners and professionals and educate them and help them give tips and support them in policy and in politics and in government to help them do a better job to help the Asians. So it's kind of trickle down and levels, but I think that's probably the best setup. Because like you said, one person can't just help 40 families and get into properties. Well, maybe if they're really busy. But so how's that going for? I heard that you transitioned into real estate, from kind of a recruiting background, and perhaps there's much more of the background before then.
Yeah, so it's funny. I wanted to start selling real estate a lot earlier, but due to COVID, my exam got canceled 3 times.
Wow.
But I got licensed last year around September, and then I've helped 4 friends so far. So not bad as like a side thing. It's been fun so far, and I think I had mentioned when we did your Escrow Tuesdays that of the 4, 3 of them are Asian Americans. So pretty exciting stuff, young women and men. So yeah, first-time home buyers.
And just think of the work. I mean, me and Mindy, and everyone here in the real estate business, if you've put 4 people into homes in this market, 4 times probably 30, you've probably written like 150 offers, let alone how many houses. No, I'm not kidding, right? I mean, for every 30 offers that these homes get, 29 of them don't get accepted.
I don't know.
Real fight. This is a real fight. I want to hear your story.
Okay.
You bit that offers.
So for my first buyer, I only had to put in 2 offers for her.
Wow.
So that was good.
That's a hit rate.
With my second buyer, I think I did maybe 4 or 5 for her. And then my third buyer, they were a new build, so that was so easy and amazing because you basically just refer the business and then you get a check.
Any offer overbid at all?
Yes. I mean, we definitely the first one, it wasn't too bad. I think we went like 10,000 over. And then another one, I think we went like 45. So they're definitely over, but appraisals have come in for the most part.
Right.
So we haven't had too bad of like any issues. I do have one couple though that I worked with for 6 months. We looked at probably 60 homes. And I know people are going to be like, you're crazy. Why would you look at 60 homes? But for me, I'm like new and I want to go see the homes. I want to learn about them.
Too, right?
Yeah. And I wanted to show them that I was dedicated. And they were just as dedicated too. So I didn't want to be like, no, let's not. And we put in 11 offers and we never got anything. So that's been like that would have been my 5th one, but we took a break.
You still continue?
We stopped, but to be honest, it worked out well because the husband ended up getting laid off like a month after we stopped looking.
Oops.
And so I feel like it was kind of like a sign that it just wasn't meant to be. So although it was like difficult for all of us, sometimes things are just not meant to be at that time.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear there was a luxury event a few weeks ago in Orange County, and one of the realtors came up, and I've been in business since 2012, and I'm thinking, man, you've only experienced a good market, right? You know, I mean, it's only been going up, up, and up, and up, and I can just imagine when the market does get a little softer and things. I mean, things are different. And a lot of agents get into markets that are just like right now, the whirlwind, right? I mean, you can't even put out marketing materials before the thing gets under contract, especially if you're on the listing side.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine, agents that get into the market when it's not so good.
Yeah. Did you sell real estate and do the lending side? So do you do both?
Yeah, the company we have over here, we have a real estate department.
Okay.
Which, we sell, we buy, we help real estate, and other department is finance, it's mortgage broker. So
awesome.
We help our buyer pre-qualify.
Okay.
And then closing the deal for them.
Awesome.
Have you done any lending or any desire to get into that part of it?
I hate numbers.
Okay.
I was never good at math. I failed math twice in college.
I like math. I just sucked at it.
Use the computer.
Yeah.
Use the machine to do
Excel saves my life. I can do some formulas in Excel. I'm the type of person who will still type in 4 + 4 just to make sure I'm doing it right.
Do the dice method. 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's pretty awesome. But it's great about the real estate industry. Someone that's really good with numbers can be successful. Someone that's just is good with people and just concepts. There's room for everybody to be successful in the business. So your transition into the real estate, I mean, was there anything that kind of I could do that? Or what was the spark that turned you from recruiting to actually selling?
I mean, the paychecks look nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I would see.
Yeah,
our brokerage, we're 100% commission, so our agents just pay us a flat transaction fee.
Right.
And so, I've seen an agent get a $68,000 check, and their fees are a little bit higher than the flat transaction fee of $720 for that. But even then, we only made a few thousand off of that.
Right.
And I was like, wow, if he can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's always a lot of things. Sometimes you're the customer and going, I want to drive fancy cars, look at fancy houses with fancy clothes, and get big checks, right?
Yeah.
You don't see the whole backstory of all that work you have to do. But no, it's a really rewarding business. And I mean, it seems like you're a millennial. You got into it fairly early. I know I got into it when I was 23. And believe me, nobody was 23
buying
starting.
houses.
No, but starting real estate at that time, right? And now you see more younger people.
A lot of young people.
Which is great.
Like I shared with you, we have agents starting from 18 years old all the way up to 81 years old here in the office. So, it's not about age; it's about you inside. You have a will, you have a deal. You have enough dreams enough, and then you can make it happen.
Right.
Definitely.
But I like the fact that it's being chosen as their first career, because a lot of people get into real estate after they've done something else and then discover it, right? But in the commercial real estate world, they actively recruit from colleges, USC, UCLA here in Southern California, and they go through the internship and runnership and go. But there was never really, it seemed like that in residential real estate. But you as a recruiter, were you starting to find, newer people? How were you recruiting? I never.
Yeah, I mean, colleges definitely do have real estate classes,
Sure.
and they'll do real estate, not conventions, but like seminars and events where us recruiters can go and talk to them as well. And a lot of them, as soon as they finish the classes, they're taking their license. They're getting their prerequisites. Some people choose to go the college route because they can do it in person. Other people, you can complete the 3 prerequisites just online. So it's really up to your preference. But definitely, I'm seeing it more and more. Real estate wasn't anything. I think when I was a business student, I don't think any of us considered taking the real estate classes. I knew one guy who did.
Was it because they didn't understand it, or they thought it was maybe a side gig, or?
I think so. I mean, I think when you go into business, your mind is either management, marketing, finance, accounting,
benefits, a paycheck every week. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody goes into college and then says like, I'm just going to work commission only after that. So
it is definitely a completely different mindset. But like you said, once you see that growth of no real ceiling in your earning capacity, I mean, it is really, but it takes a lot of work, right?
It definitely does. And a lot of people, I think it's easier than it really is. They think deals will just fall in their lap, or they don't realize the technology side of it. They don't realize that you have to run it like a business. Like they might get their first paycheck and like spend it all versus putting some away or putting some aside for their business itself. So that's definitely something we see a lot in our office as well.
So we've talked a lot about the business and what you're going for, but now I want to, change the subject. I want to know about you, Cindy. You're Vietnamese.
I am Vietnamese,
You born here or over there in Vietnam?
I was born here. Oh, well, I was born in Boston. So my
parents... Do you speak any Vietnamese at all?
I do.
Oh, good.
I know, so
with a Bostonian accent?
No. I would definitely say I'm not as fluent as I used to be, but out of all my cousins, have held on to it the longest. I make an effort,
so you don't
to try and speak it.
You self-learn or home?
My mom spoke it to me until she didn't speak English to me at all until I went to preschool. Then I learned English. So when I was up until 3 or 4 years old, all I spoke was Vietnamese. And then, for me, it was important to speak to my grandparents, my great-grandparents. So I always forced myself to remember it. But I catch myself nowadays when I speak it sometimes, I'll say a word and I'm like, that was not right. Because with the accents, I'll say a word completely wrong, and then I'm like, I don't even know if that was the correct word.
But can you write or read?
I can read a little bit, but I don't think I could write, The accents would throw me off.
That's good enough. A lot of people don't even speak or don't understand at all Vietnamese, but you can keep that. That is admiring.
Yeah, so when you speak Vietnamese to me, I love it.
My daughter now, she's 20, and she born here too. She can speak, can write, can read.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so, I would love to be able to teach it to my kids in the future, but I don't know if that's possible.
So here you are, you're in North OC here, we're in a little Saigon here in Mindy's HPT Realty Studios. And you live about 10 minutes away from the studios, right? But the LA Coastal chapter there's a lot of Japanese people there. It's more of that culture right in the Torrance area and where Toyota used to be there. Of course, they're all moved to Texas these days. But there was a large Japanese community. So, was that an interesting, not every AREAA chapter has like one, demographic of the Asian community. There's so many different Asians. I think in thinking from maybe a Western perspective, not that all Asians are the same, but they think of maybe Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, and that's about it. But there's so much more, right, in diversity. There's like diversity within Asia. So.
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea that Torrance had so many Japanese people until I joined AREAA. And I mean, I think I remember Adam when he brought me in saying like, you're one of the few like first Vietnamese people to like join this board. And then I think we slowly now have like a few other ethnicities, but for the most part, it's still Japanese. Yeah.
Right.
And so it's like, I feel like I'm with my people when I go to AREAA OC.
That's interesting, right? Yeah, no, I mean, you have Gardena, you have actually a lot of, because a lot of agricultural that was here that the Japanese were here established in, Los Angeles area. But of course you have, just down the street here and more your neck of the woods where you live. One of the largest Vietnamese communities.
This is a good story, but I know a person that traveled even farther to support a chapter over there in Ventura.
Michelle?
She lives here. No,
who?
Teresa.
Oh, Teresa goes the opposite way. She goes to Ventura.
A lot farther than you, right?
Yeah.
She has a big heart for our family.
Oh,
especially over there in Ventura with Michelle. Where
I love it. I mean, I would steal Teresa in a heartbeat. I told her yesterday, I was like, can I just have you come to our events to sell raffle tickets? Because she sold like thousands of dollars worth yesterday.
The event was 2-3 weeks ago. It was just, you wouldn't believe that. She was like the Energizer Bunny doing so many things. But, that's what brings the best out of AREAA, brings the best out of those people with the passion to give back.
Right.
And once you drink that AREAA Kool-Aid, it does kind of get moving and stuff. So you've got, you're the president of LA Coastal. Obviously that's, we had an earlier guest on, Dan King from Houston, and he felt once you become the president, it does change things a bit to where you become the connector for your chapter. So like, for example, someone from, the New Jersey chapter, Prisca, is going to call and find out, right, I've got a client, in Palos Verdes. Well, they're probably going to, somehow reach out to you to find out who to connect to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of an important role and kind of a coveted role too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super happy that at least for the second half of this year, we've been able to do in-person events because it was definitely hard to connect with people. I feel like people didn't know who I was because I wasn't supposed to be president. And
no one is ever supposed to be president.
I know, but
half of it happens by accident.
I know.
And trickery,
Yeah. But I mean, it's like nice to finally be able to meet people in person, have conversations with them, and feel like I'm actually developing like friendships with everybody versus it just being, Facebook friends or whatever it is. Yeah,
absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
we've had a bit of a run on some. Orange County had their in-person events. Greater Los Angeles did. Anything upcoming for the LA Coastal chapter in person?
So we're doing an in-person event. The new RPA for real estate is coming out at the end of this year.
Yeah.
And so we're hosting that in 2 weeks.
Wow.
But we're keeping it kind of low-key, like mask required the whole time. Not really like networking, I would say. We're still on the iffy side. Like the last thing I want to do is like be the LA super spreader event. And so we're being on the more cautious side, but we usually have our big casino night in March and it's always a fun event. And so ideally, like hopefully we'll be able to do that in October and that's when we can invite everyone.
Are you going to have it at the same venue?
I mean, it's a great venue, isn't it?
Where
we always do it at the Porsche dealership in Torrance.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. They always display all the cars
Super
out.
high ceilings.
Yeah.
Or Ocean Boulevard?
I think it's Sepulveda, right?
Sepulveda, right?
Well, it's right off the
405.
405 there, so
Yeah.
there's freeway access. But it's
It's a lot of fun.
just a great, because in the evenings there's not a whole lot goes on there, so they repurpose it, and you've got these glistening cars, and you've got the casino and music and raffles.
They know we're bringing in like 200 real estate professionals, so I'm pretty sure they like give it to us for free.
Oh, absolutely.
And then we just bring people in.
I love to go back. You may not know that I used to live in that area.
Really?
South Bay area. Redondo Beach,
Oh.
Manhattan Beach, over there in
Really?
that area. I used to
Wow.
live there. So I love to be back. I never been to LA Coastal event, but I will join you. Do you remember when was the first time we met?
I met you the first time we met. Was it not this year?
This year.
Oh yeah, we met. Whose event was it? GLA's event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Intercom. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It was great.
I know. She came up to me and she was like, "We're gonna speak Vietnamese."
Right?
Nói
Right
tiếng
away
Việt.
we become friends, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, in AREAA, the Asian Real Estate Association of America, of course, the largest basically Asian-based trade organizations, we've had a lot of great, Vietnamese leaders. Tran, who was the, national chair a few years ago, and No, I think it's great to see, but a lot of different diversities, and it's just great to see so much leadership happening.
And it's nice to just be around successful, hardworking Asian people, especially. I mean, I went home to my fiance yesterday, and I was like, he's a physical therapist, so our lives are just totally different on a daily basis. And I was like, I wish you had a more flexible schedule so you could come with me to these events, because I was like, I constantly meet people, and even if it's just a short 2-minute conversation, I'm like, I feel more inspired. Like,
you learn a lot from different people every day.
Every day. I sat down with Michelle yesterday, and the music was blasting, so we're just like screaming at each other. And she was just, talking about how after we buy this first home, like save up and buy a rental home, save up and buy another one. And it's something that you already know you need to do.
But you never take it
but when you hear it again, it's like, yes okay, because you're talking to someone who's done it, and you're like, and you can tell they're doing good in life. So you're like, okay, for sure.
And how quickly you can make connections, right? Because I had met someone from the other, it was at the Greater Los Angeles Intercontinental event. It was a banker, and I hear that you were working with that same banker on some other referral networks and stuff. So how quickly you can develop new friends, and then to have full relationships. It's amazing.
For sure.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, here we are. Mindy's Manic Monday with amazing Cindy Tran from LA Coastal.
Yes.
So, but anything, we hope you'll have that, that casino night coming up soon.
I hope so too. We're even thinking we might, since it's October, make it a Halloween themed one.
There you go.
So then people can get dressed up as well. I don't know. Usually it's in March, so it would be our first time doing it in October. Right. So fingers crossed, all goes well with.
Yeah. Anything, LA Coastal going to be in the talent show maybe for the. Ari's Got Talent maybe?
I asked Michelle. It was funny. Michelle's going to be our president next year,
Manic,
and it's only her, Wes, and I that'll be there. And I was like, are we gonna do the talent show? She goes, what talents do we have? And I was like, I mean, that's true. Like, I don't know what are you guys doing the talent show?
It's supposed to be secret, right?
Really?
Nothing.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a great
Do people like dance? Do they perform? Or are we supposed to do
just show any kind of talent, just like American Got Talent?
Okay, well, I can't sing.
Be anything.
You don't have to sing. There's some people that go there and not sing. And there's been chapters that got into these body socks and did these funny movements or did a PSA. I mean, just come up with anything creative. You got 90 seconds or 2 minutes, and it's a great way for chapters to get exposure to sponsors. Yes, but
you wanna make your name
fun
out there. Let people remember you. Some kind of creative.
I'll see if Wes can do the worm or something like that.
There you go. That's so fun. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you at the National Convention coming up in early October in San Francisco. At least it's not a huge long drive for us, or at least a trip, but a lot of fun stuff happening. Anything else coming up? Any news with your real estate company that you like to announce or anything?
I mean, if anyone wants to join us, we're 100% commission. I'm always hiring, so join Hope Smart Realty Group.
Right, of course, on this show you can only join HPT.
Oh, that's true. Why'd you ask me, Charles? You set me up.
That's all right. The beauty of AREAA is it's not under one. We all work together, and we never think, let's see, what real estate companies do.
I'm not in Mindy's area right now anyway, so we're not direct competition.
No, but what's really cool is we transcend who we work for or anything like that, right? Everyone typically does a great job of wearing the AREAA hat and not their company, and it's kind of secondary, and I think it shows with the collaboration that they're calling you because they want to work with you, not because what company. Most people don't even know what company you work with. They don't care. They're just calling Cindy Tran. So I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Mostly, when you're out there doing business, people thinking about the number, the money. But sometimes, money is not everything. You're out there doing business mostly with relationship.
Right.
You gotta have a reason to be good associate with this people, that person. Always a reason.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we can conclude this week's Mindy's Manic Monday. Cindy, any last words that you'd like to share with the audience?
No, just thank you so much for having me. It's always a fun time in the studio with Charles and with Mindy, and I look forward to meeting more AREAA people at the convention.
Absolutely.
And let's have some fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a great time.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
All right, see you
Bye,
guys later.
guys.